Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're exploring a profoundly transformative concept from Buddhist philosophy that completely shifts how we understand the act of giving, merit, and ultimately our own spiritual liberation. It's a concept known as the Threefold Emptiness, or in the source texts, Threefold Emptiness. If you've ever felt that even your best, most selfless actions somehow leave you feeling heavy or tied down by expectations, well, we're going to illuminate exactly why that happens.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Why do we still suffer, even when we do good deeds? It's a total paradox, isn't it? We're always taught that doing good, giving to others, and practicing charity are the guaranteed pathways to happiness and spiritual freedom. Yet for so many dedicated practitioners, these very acts of goodness actually become a source of profound spiritual fatigue and suffering. So today, we're going to dissect the hidden trap of the spiritual ego and reveal the ultimate method to achieve true, boundless compassion.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, escaping the cycle. Second, the trap of spiritual ego. Third, the threefold emptiness. Fourth, the three spheres. And finally, limitless dedication.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Escaping the Cycle. To really grasp why giving can actually be a trap, we first have to understand the ultimate goal here. Across these teachings, the big aim is escaping the endless cycle of life and death, what's known as samsara. Basically, we want to move beyond the suffering of the four birth states and the six realms of existence and return to our original pure spiritual essence. But standing right in our way is our absolute biggest obstacle, our own human ego and our attachments. Ignorance and karma just continually obscure our true nature, and they yank us right back into the cycle no matter how desperately we want to be free.
There's this incredibly striking quote from the ancient philosophers Huangzi in our source material that captures this perfectly. It says, "Originally I did not wish to be born, but suddenly I was born into this world. Originally I did not wish to die, but suddenly death visits." It just beautifully conveys that uncontrollable and honestly often terrifying human experience of birth and death. The cycle is absolutely relentless, and because we fear it so much, we desperately grasp for ways out, usually through accumulating merit by doing good deeds. But as we'll see, that grasping is exactly the problem.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the trap of spiritual ego. And what's really interesting about this slide is it requires a massive paradigm shift. Because the very solution we think will save us, doing good deeds, might actually be the exact thing keeping us trapped. It's all about exposing our hidden motivations. When we give, are we doing it just to score some merit points for a better next life? Are we clinging to the praise and fame of being seen as a generous person? Sometimes people do good deeds simply to gain influence and power within their spiritual communities. And maybe worst of all, we get super attached to this identity of being the savior or the good person. The sources explicitly warn us against this. If we do good but hold on to the expectation of a reward, our ego just inflates. We're still trapped in the cage, we've literally just decorated it with spiritual achievements.
So, how do we get out? Let's look at Section 3, the Threefold Emptiness. How do we actually break out of this gilded cage? The answer is the Threefold Emptiness, Threefold. It is the absolute ultimate state of detached giving. It means that when you give, you have to completely let go of the ego, you let go of the action itself, and you let go of any expectation of a reward. It's this profound realization that true merit isn't something you can just accumulate like points in a bank account. True merit only arises when the mind is entirely empty of the desire to get something back. Bottom line, true giving is fundamentally empty.
Let's break this down further in Section 4, the three spheres.
To really make this actionable, we need to systematically deconstruct what exactly needs to be empty. According to the teachings of Bodhisattva Chandraprabha found in the texts, the threefold emptiness consists of three distinct non-attachments. Step 1, emptiness of the giver. You absolutely cannot be attached to the idea that you are the one giving or get all prideful about your ability to give. Step 2, emptiness of the gift. You have to let go of any attachment to the physical wealth, the time, or the knowledge you're handing over. Once it's gone, it is not yours anymore. And Step 3, emptiness of the receiver. You must not be attached to the person receiving the gift. You don't demand their gratitude, and you certainly don't sit there and judge whether they are worthy of your help.
The source text detailing Bodhisattva Chandraprabha's explanation really hammers this home. A true practitioner must be completely clear on all three of these voids. Because if even one of these spheres is solid, if you're sitting there thinking, wow, I am so great for giving this, or look at this incredibly valuable thing I'm sacrificing, or even they better be so grateful for what I just did,
the emptiness is totally broken. You fall right back into the greed of wanting spiritual merit. It instantly becomes a transaction rather than an act of liberation.
And this brilliantly illustrates that exact point. It's the visual metaphor of a hand holding a lotus. The lotus represents the gift, the merit, the beautiful action. But notice how it's being held, gently, softly, offering it upward without grasping the stem tightly. The hand isn't clenching. It's just the absolute perfect visual metaphor for pure detached giving. You offer the beauty of your actions to the world, but you definitely don't squeeze them to extract personal glory.
Moving on to our final part. Section 5. Limitless Dedication.
When we finally achieve this level of profound detachment, something really incredible happens. The real-world application of the threefold emptiness kicks in. The text uses these highly visual, emotionally resonant analogies to explain this state, like this one. Like a candle, the body is the wax, the ideal is the light. It willingly sacrifices itself to provide light in the darkness. When the ego is entirely gone, you just stop calculating the cost to yourself. You simply provide light because, well, light is needed. A candle doesn't pause and ask the darkness to say thank you, right? It just burns.
The text actually takes this powerful analogy a step further, comparing the selfless practitioner not just to a candle, but to a burning coal. Think about it. The coal sacrifices its own physical form, literally turning itself to ash simply to provide warmth during the cold winter. It represents dedication without conditions, without limits, and without any calculation of self-preservation whatsoever. It is the absolute ultimate expression of compassion for all sentient beings, and it's born entirely out of complete emptiness.
Which brings us to the climax of our analysis today. How do we actually give limitlessly? I mean, as human beings with jobs, families, and very finite energy, how on earth can we possibly love and give without limits, without burning out, and without becoming resentful?
So the crucial point is by completely letting go of the self. As long as there's an I that is doing the giving, there will always be a limit. I only have so much money in the bank. I only have so much patience left today. I need to be appreciated for this. But when you practice the threefold emptiness, when the giver, the gift, and the receiver completely dissolve into empty, selfless action, those limits just vanish. The universe simply gives through you.
True giving is completely empty, and in that emptiness, there is limitless light. If you really want to escape the cycle, if you want to find genuine spiritual freedom, you have to stop holding on to the good things you do. Offer the lotus, but don't grasp the stem. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to carry into your day. The very next time you do something kind for someone else, can you do it so completely and so quietly that even your own ego doesn't know it happened? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep seeking that limitless light.